Hello, welcome to another UCL fantasy video. I'm going to cover everything you need to know. This is going to be an ultimate guide. This guide's going to be so ultimate, you're not going to need another ultimate guide. This is going to be the only ultimate guide you'll ever need. You only need to watch a substandard video, just this one. I'm going to start by boasting about how good my match day 14 score was. Over 100 points. Massive green arrow, over 2,000 places. A lot of people ask me about, I need a differential. I need to make big gains. What can I do? And it's obvious, isn't it? What you need to do is choose a team where every defender and your goalkeeper gets a clean sheet, and every single attacker gets a return. That's all you need to do. It's that simple. It's that easy. Doesn't happen often though, does it? Obviously, but this was a nice score. It was so long ago, I can hardly remember the games. It was probably only like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So let's move on. I'm into the top 3,000, just out. Well, it doesn't look like it's just outside the top 2,000, but it's only 7 points. As we can see on this graph here, 7 points away from being inside the top 2K. At the start of the season, my goal is finishing the top 5K. Even if I have a bad season, I have awful luck, my skill level is so high, I'm still going to finish inside the top 5K. And I've got a nice buffer there, 17 points. With only 3 match days to go, and you know, there's not that many differentials, not that many players that can hurt me. I should be finishing inside the top 5K. It's going to happen. Being optimistic or something to aim for, get inside the top 2K. That's what I'm aiming for. Could happen. I've got a nice team. I'll show you in a minute. Everything you need to know, right, is contained in this chart. I've said it before. Everything, even your strategy for this match day coming up. I'll walk you through it. I'll take you by the hand. If the club is over here towards the right, they've got a better attack. If they're towards the top, they've got a better defence. These two teams play each other. PSG, home to Bayern Munich, there's going to be more goals. Whereas in this fixture, Arsenal away at Atletico, there's not going to be a lot of goals. So, at the risk of stating the obvious, you want your defenders to come from this game. Your midfielders and your attackers want to come from this game. This game is on the first day as well, so we're going to stock up on midfielders and forwards in this game. I've even got predicted lineups. I've been a busy bee this week. PSG's lineup. No surprises there. The only thing to keep an eye on is if Vitinha is going to start. He hasn't played the last 2 games. He's got a bit of a knock, a bit of a doubt. It's the sort of thing where if he's in your team, you hope he starts. You get to say the lineups before the deadline. If you haven't got him in, I would not be bringing him in. There's better options in midfield than Vitinha because he's not going to be on pens. KK took the last penalty for PSG, so I think he's on pens now instead of Dembele and Vitinha. Vitinha's missed. He's missed the last 1 or 2 that he's taken. The other thing to keep an eye out is Dure. Is he going to start over Barcola? I think he is going to start over Barcola, but if Barcola's on the bench, Barcola will be coming off the bench for Dure. Defenders, the best defenders for attack and threat is Hakimi and Mendes. That is stating the absolute obvious, isn't it, really? Whereas the Bayern Munich defenders, not a lot of attack and threat there at all. 2 lads in the middle will probably get your defcons, but not a lot of attack and threat. Not a lot of attack and threat with the double pivot. I mean, Kimmich might get an assist. He'll get some defcons, but there's better options in midfield. The only interesting thing about the lineup is Gnabry's out for the season, so Musiala will start. He hasn't played 90 minutes for over a month, and he hasn't played back-to-back 90s for over a year. So while he's likely to start, he's very likely not to play the 90 minutes either. No other surprises with the rest of the team. Elise, Diaz, supporting Kane up front. Moving on to Atletico Madrid. It doesn't look like Hanko is going to start. He hasn't, I think he's just returned to training, but I think Lenormand will start in defence alongside Pubil. He looks like he's nailed. He's only 3.8 million, so he's very cheap. If you do want to go differential and go for Atletico's defence, then I would go for him and Ruggeri. I think a lot of players, Ruggeri is quite well owned already. Midfield options. It doesn't look like Lookman's going to start. You don't really want a midfielder for Atletico Madrid, not unless you want to go differential. Go for Simeone. Alvarez is quite highly owned. He's the best attacker, obviously, for Atletico Madrid. Going to be on pens. He says he's a start. Yeah, was carrying a knock. Griezmann's another differential player, but he's not on pens, playing a lot deeper. He's just not a consideration for me at all. And finally, we've got Arsenal's lineup. I think White will start at fullback. Timber's still injured. Obviously, everyone's going to have these three in. Raya in goal, Saliba and Gab in defence. And it looks like Calafiori isn't fit still, so Hincapi will continue to play fullback. In midfield, I quite like Odegaard. He's their captain. He's nailed. He's more of a bit more of a goal threat than Rice, but he has returned. He's not long back from injury. Played a lot of minutes recently. But he is a good differential option. I don't think Saka's going to start. He played 10 minutes at the weekend. He'll come off the bench. It's the sort of thing where you don't want to play Madueke. You don't want to select him, and you don't want to select Saka yet. You don't want to select Martinelli either. He probably will start over Trossard, but he will get subbed, and he's not really a great option. Speaking of not great options, Gyökeres. Havertz got injured, but I don't think it's as bad as what was first feared. And I'm not really a big fan of Gyökeres either. He's just not a great pick. If you want to go differential, go for him. But nah, not for me. I'm not going differential. So, the moment we've all been waiting for, what does my team look like? What transfers have I made? I've got plenty in the bank. I've got a nice split. I was considering a 10-5 split, but I've gone for 9-6. So with my transfers, I can flip that for the second leg and get more players on the first day in the semi-final second leg. In goal, I've got Raya. Everyone's got Raya. I've gone for Safanov. Two reasons why I've gone for Safanov over Neuer. He's a lot cheaper than Neuer. I have got one eye on the semi-final second leg. So with plenty of money in the bank, I could bring in Saka or Alvarez. Spoiler alert, they're not on my team right now. Another reason for not bringing in Neuer is he's had a lot of injuries recently. He's had 3 different injuries recently. It's a slight risk. He's 40 years old, so he probably gets injured just getting out of bed in the morning. Another reason to go for Safanov as my goalkeeper on the first day. In defence, I've got Gabriel. I've got Saliba. Everyone's got them. Hakimi, obviously. I'm keeping Ruggeri. And I've brought in Hincapi. Triple Arsenal defence. Well, 3 Arsenal defenders plus the goalkeeper. I've had a lot of thoughts. I was considering bringing Mendes. He's got a lot more attack and threat than Ruggeri. But with one eye on the second leg, you can only have a maximum of 6 players from one team. So if I have 6 Arsenal players, I need to get some Atletico Madrid players in there to have more players on the first day of the second leg. So that's why I'm keeping Ruggeri. He's my worst sub. Hopefully he won't have to play tomorrow. And I can just keep him for the second leg. In midfield, I've got I think everyone's going to have this midfield. You've absolutely got to have Elise. You've got to have KK. I brought in Musiala. I do like him, even though he's not going to play in 90 minutes. He's such a good player. And there's such few options. I've got to have him in. And he plays on the first day. I've got Dure in there as well. I've only made 4 free transfers. So if Barcola does start over him, then I can sub Dure out for Barcola. I'll talk about captaincy at the end. And up front, everyone's going to have Kane. Everyone's going to have Dembele. I'm keeping Diaz. I do prefer Diaz over Alvarez. 2 reasons. He's a lot cheaper. He plays on the first day. And add in the third reason. I've got 4 Arsenal defenders and the goalkeeper, so I don't want to have Alvarez as well. I don't want to hedge my bets. I'm going to go all in for the Arsenal defence on the second day if I need it. And now we'll talk about captaincy. Right now it's on KK. I think he's on pens. He's got a lot of Player of the Match awards recently. If it wasn't going to be him, it'd probably be Dembele. And Harry Kane as well. Those are the three players to choose from for me. And at the minute, I'm sticking with KK. It's a tough decision. You could go with any one of those three and just hope you get the right one. The problem about not having Alvarez in the team is I don't have a good captain for the second day. But it does project to be a low-scoring game. So if I do need a captain for the second day, I'm going to go for Gabriel. Go for a clean sheet, some DEFCONs, and a goal as well. That would be nice. So as it stands right now, how's my team set up? These are the qualification percentages. Obviously, Arsenal are the biggest favourites out of the two games. Bayern Munich are favourites to get through over PSG, and Atletico are the underdogs. I do think that Arsenal are going to be too strong for Atletico. The point in Atletico's favour is Atletico have got nothing to play for in the league. They're going to finish in the Champions League places. They're not going to win the league. Obviously, it's going to be Barcelona. So they can just rest players. They've rested players in their league games, just tanking it, focusing on the semi-final of the UCL. Whereas Arsenal are still competing for the league. They've got plenty of injuries. They're going to have a lot of fatigue in the squad from playing so many games. That is a point of advantage for Atletico Madrid, but still, I'm playing the percentages. I do think Arsenal are going to get through. I've got 5 players from them. So I've got 9 players on the first day, 6 on the second day. And how does that look up right now? The magic number to get to for the final is 6. As you get 5 free transfers for the final, you're only going to need 11 players to start. It's not really a worry right now getting to 6 players, but I should be doing it, but it's something I'm still going to keep an eye on. Okay, I think I've covered absolutely everything in this absolute ultimate guide. Thank you for watching. Drop a like and a subscribe and all that good stuff. Thank you very much.